Welcome to Gambler's World. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Sean Higgs coming at you. Marc Lawrence on the show. A Football Friday live.
Sean, how you doing, man?
I'm not too bad. Only a couple more of these left. We just said off air. It's like we got a rivalry week and then a few championship games, and then it's bowl season. I was trying to pull up the bowl schedule here.
Yeah, December 13th.
December the 13th, the Cricket Celebration Bowl kicking off at high noon. MEAC and the SWAC. Any early prediction for MEAC and SWAC there for us?
Any from the MEAC and the SWAC? There will be no MEAC and SWAC out of my thoughts. No MEAC.
All right.
No
how about this one? The Bucked Up LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.
Really?
Pac-12 versus the Mountain West. Inglewood up to no good. 8 o'clock Saturday night.
Well, I'm showing the LA Bowl on December 13th. You seeing that, Sean?
That's what it is. It's the Bucked Up LA Bowl.
Oh,
That's
it
what
is.
it's called. You know these names, Mark. We're gonna have to. It's official. They got all these kind of full-blown names for these sponsored bowl games now. It just can't be welcome to the New Orleans Bowl. It's not. We gotta have we need naming rights. We need cash money, and you got to give a little. I don't know why you got to give a grab bag to the kids. They get no money now. But what's Gronk giving these guys? A vape pen and some energy drinks. I mean, like what's he? Yes.
Yeah.
Gronk. Yeah, I can't. Bowls December. That's 2 weeks, right? Was that 3 weeks away?
You know, it's amazing to me because I'm logging the stats from last week, and some teams played their final game of the season in the MAC this week. You know, they're done. The season's over for those a handful of teams already. Yep.
All done.
All done.
It's crazy.
Yep.
And then you have another team in the MAC still has like 2 games left. I was looking at this guy like, how do these guys have 3 games and this guy has 1 game left? But
there's still a couple of MAC teams that'll play again next week, but you know, there's an isolated few that are finished, and they're probably glad they're finished. You know, the Akrons of the world and the teams like that.
Well, yeah, you know, you had a lot of bottom feeder groups there, like UMass.
Oh,
I know a couple guys to talk to had UMass rated below some of the level 2 schools or the subdivision.
well, there can't be a worse team in the FBS than UMass. And I think they win it hands down. They're the only team in the country that has been out-yarded in every football game they played. They've been out-yarded 194 yards a game average. They don't even come close. I don't know why they're still knocking around in the FBS world. I really, truly don't.
You know, you see that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, notification bell. I didn't even hit that. I just jumped right into the having fun with the bowls and everything. But again, here we are, folks. If you haven't already, hit the like button, share, subscribe, notification bell on so you know each and every Friday we're live with a little Football Friday, and of course free picks the other 7 days a week. Chip Trimus and the Vegas Legends on the weekends. I'll carry you through the week. Be sure to check those out. But again, our top plays, best bets, premium action over at gamblersworld.net. And I'm going to hit you right now just on we do have a Friday night game, but are you loaded up right for the weekend in action? You ready to go?
I got everything all locked and loaded for the weekend. Yes, I do. And I do have one Friday night game here for tonight. Yes.
All right, there you go. Head on over, get Mark's Friday night winner or his Saturday, Sunday. Go get it. Get a 3-day pass. It's guaranteed. Show you a profit, and it's for him, all sports. You get college and NFL. You know, for me, you'll get a little college hoops in it as well. So there is that. There is that. Mar. Who's in it? Magic Mar. Look at this. You know, as you see, Mark, in the chat, we have the phone version now available. So it streams automatically in phone setup, like you're on your phone, where it's not on the regular YouTube. So now we got Magic Mar, because apparently when you're on the phone, it comes up a little different, and it lets me know he's on the phone as Mar just on YouTube today.
Oh, nice. So we're seeing that rather than on the usual chat. We see him via the phone then, right?
Yep. This is he's phoning it up here. John, is he on the phone too? This is a full name here. I'm assuming it is. Mr. John. Good to see John. Let's jump right into Florida State and NC State tonight. And, we'll kind of segue this with the way the bowl playoffs have been talked about, right? Miami got it great. Well, why are we behind Notre Dame? We beat them. Well, you also lost to 2 unranked teams, you clowns. That kind of weighs a little bearing. And if that was the case, Florida State would be right in here in the top 15 because they beat Alabama, who's in the top 10, right? After their slow start, like they started bad. They beat Alabama, but then they just kind of were terrible. They've won a little lately here. I kind of like Florida State here. I think there's going to be points. I like the over. NC State, I don't know. I mean, the line from 4 up to 6, Mark. The offense, believe it or not, for Florida State, I think is a top 10 offense. I think they're ranked 7th last
year. Their stats are incredibly good this year, Florida State. They just haven't got the job done on the scoreboard, but they've done everything really well statistically. They're one of only 7 teams that have only lost the yards in one game this year. They win their stats by an average of 165 yards a game, does Florida State. And yet they're floundering with this mediocre win-loss record. Something's just not right. There's something not jiving right at Florida State. I don't know what it is. They're playing well, but they're not getting the wins. It could be the coaching.
Number 10 in yards margin, 14 in scoring margin, and they can't win a game.
Yep.
Total offense 7. How about you want to make a play in this? What do you feel about the over in this game? I kind of like their offense versus defense.
Well, they have 5 losses, Sean, okay? And they also have 5 wins, okay? So they're going to need a win here either tonight or
versus Florida.
At Florida, which will be tough, no question. But in their 5 losses, 4 of them are 1-score losses. So that probably speaks to their record, and it probably also speaks to their stats, meaning that hence what we're saying is they are a better team than their record shows right now. So they got to kick things in gear here. They've only been out-yarded, like I say, that one time so far this football season here. I think they're clearly the better team in this matchup tonight.
I agree. Line is, I guess, probably where it should be. It keeps going up. It makes sense to me. I'm rolling out a double play here for the show. I'm Florida State in the over. They're going to score. And like you said, I think their tougher matchup is next week versus Florida. So if they want to get bowl eligibility, you beat NC State here. And NC State's got North Carolina next week, who, listen, Belichick's out watching co-ed cheerleading, for the love of God. I mean, this dude is totally checked out on the season. And in his defense, I don't know if I'd check out co-ed cheerleading, although there's usually guys who hold the girls up. I'd go check out some hot chicks cheerleading at 30. I mean, his girlfriend's 24? I mean, she's a co-ed. She's like a grad student cheerleading.
We just don't want to
understand.
We don't want to see.
I understand at 50. I'd understand at 75 too. I get it, Bill. I understand, but you're a head football coach. Got to pull it together, man. He's like a 21-year-old at a club just turning 21 at night. What are we doing, Bill?
Well, we don't need to see his name on the Epstein list, okay?
Florida State 6.5 over 59.5. I'm making them show picks. Mark can't stop me. I'm high on Florida State here to get it done. This is their winnable bowl game. NC State, they will bowl up next week. Poor defense, Florida offense. I mean, this is going to be a 44-30 game. I'm calling a crazy one here. High scoring affair tonight here.
So what's the show pick? Florida State or the over or both?
I'm doing both.
Okay.
I'm firing away. I feel good. College football's been good, like a 15-8 run for me. I've been feeling it pretty good lately. So I'm going to be firing away.
Nice.
Magic Mar, thoughts on getting 4 with Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland? The fact that this guy was named the starter and the line went up almost 3 points. That's all you need to know, Magic Man. Right? What do you think here about this game?
Well, I think this, Sean. I think that we've seen nothing but the worst side of Shedeur Sanders so far this season, because he's been thrown into the games into just absolutely disastrous situations. First of all, he practices with the practice squad and the second and third string players. This is the first time he's going to practice all week long with the starting team and have all week to get ready for that. I think you're going to see a different Shedeur Sanders in this football game here, because now he's going to be with the players that he's practicing with. He was just thrown to the wolves that last game that he was put into, because of the concussion that Gabriel.
Yep.
But that's what if you're a backup, you have to be ready for stuff like that. But he wasn't ready, and I think we're going to see a little bit better effort. You have to see a better effort. 18.5 passer rating.
But you know what though? See, I'm not even blaming him. Your practice squads. You're not even running your offensive plays. You're playing on the defensive side of the ball, basically, right? You're running the other team's offense,
right?
But shame on the coaches for not having them at least taking some reps, whether it's with the bat. Like if your quarterback can get hurt, guys get hurt in the league. How isn't he like at least a little bit prepared? That's on the organization, I think. And that's the problem because when you have 9 guys, as quarterbacks on your roster, somebody's not getting the right look or any looks.
Yeah, who was QB 6, 7, and 8? During spring camp, there was somebody, obviously.
Yeah. Oh no, they had. Let's be honest. They had Flacco. They had Dorian Thompson, DRT. Right, that guy was their guy. Bailey Zappi was on this team. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they've had a few a few guys taking snaps. This goes back to when he was drafted, and the word is that Kevin Stefanski did not want to draft him, but he was forced to draft him. I think whoever it was from the coaching staff smelled value. He was looked to be perhaps a second or third round quarterback, and they fell to him in the 5th round, and they smelled that value. But the word is Stefanski wanted nothing to do with him. And
you already drafted a quarterback, so now you got a problem. If you wanted to take him, you could have took him in the 4th round.
Well, that's the thing. They didn't want to. They didn't want to take him. They could have taken him after Gabriel, but I think you're wasting your draft picks. You're drafting 2 players in a row in 2 different rounds, sequential rounds, to be the backup quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a waste of a draft pick.
And on top, I mean, people forget the fact that you're going to have his whole act coming to town. But if you're a coach, you need his father. They're going to bring Dion in to take your job. No coach who's on a bad team is going to want that. You're already on the hot seat. You're picking in the top 10. Do people forget that aspect of why he's going to kind of fall out of favor with some teams and then come in and say, well, I don't want to play for team XYZ on top of it? What are you doing? Unless this guy landed with the Chiefs where Andy Reid's not getting fired or some coach who's not going to get fired, any other team, the coach would be on the hot seat. Because all it takes is, you took me number 3 overall. I need my dad to coach me. He could coach. And that's a problem.
I think Sanders' problem is probably a little bit related to the fact that he holds the ball so long, largely because he doesn't read defenses as crisply and as quickly as he should. It appears to be. Either it takes him a little longer to read that, and that's why he's holding it long, and that's why he's getting sacked. The players have overrun their routes. So all these mechanics are not clicking right now for him, and he does have a good arm. I'll say that. Cannot scramble. So we're going to see here. I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. They're throwing him to the wolves here, but this wolf doesn't have any teeth in the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay.
What wolf is this? This is like a little cub wolf that you see on TikTok that somebody brings home. So some half blind woman thinks it's a stray dog and she brings it in the house and it's a, this little pup. It's not really he can't ask for a better team to face.
No.
Short week. Defense hasn't looked all that great. It's not a good team, the Raiders. And the flip side of this is for Pete Carroll, bro, if you don't come out and beat this team by like 10 or 15 points, a rookie quarterback, for argument's sake, I was thinking, the 4th round or 5th round? I mean, you can't.
5th round, yes.
You don't have anything up your sleeve after coaching for 40 years to keep this guy under 10 or 13 points?
Yeah, a QB3 backup quarterback playing a football team that is arguably in the running for the number 1 draft pick in this year's draft. You better be able to coach something up here. They have no offense at all, number 31 in the league. The only thing that keeps the Browns afloat is that defense, the number 2 ranked defense. They are good.
Good defense.
Yes, they are very good. But
again, the kid gets a lot of hate, and you don't want to see people fail. But this is another bad spot. You're just going on a road versus another desperate team. A guy's got. The coach has a little pride in himself over there. I can't even get. 4. You really want to lay 4 with the Raiders? I don't lay forward the Raiders. The best unit on the field is the Browns defense. You're telling me they can't generate a turnover here or a defensive touchdown to win this game? How about this prop? Would you do a no touchdown in this game?
A no touchdown?
No touchdown. I'm looking this up. No touchdown in this game.
That's an interesting prop. No touchdowns.
Think about it. I mean, I don't care who's quarterback for the Raiders. The defense for Cleveland is solid. They keep people in check. They keep guys in check. And if you keep good guys in check, what are you going to do to bad guys?
Well, the other side of the coin is the Raiders' defense is pretty decent, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got two really good defenses here, which is going to mean a snore fest probably, to an experiment quarterback for the Browns. It's the lowest total of the week. It should be in the National Football League. It's probably, listen to what the odds makers say, this thing looks like a dead nuts under is what it looks like.
I'm trying to find I'm on DK looking for a no touchdown prop. Look at this. Under 1.5 touchdowns is plus 650.
Wow. Under 1.5, huh? Oh.
Yeah.
So if you get
longest touchdown, total touchdowns under 3.5. I mean, even that total touchdowns exacta. They don't even have the 0 on here. Maybe I'm not seeing it. I'm kind of spreading through, going through really fast here. But safety prop, we don't want that. I'm gonna go under touchdowns. Longest touchdown. Neither team scores the longest touchdown. Would that be no touchdown?
Neither team scores the longest touchdown. Well, somebody has to have the longest touchdown if they're going to be a quarterback.
But if there's no touchdown, it says longest touchdown, Browns 125, Raiders minus 140. Neither is plus 1,600. So would that be no touchdown scored? Would that be considered the no touchdown?
I don't know. I don't know how you read. I don't think you can read into that. I think it's got to be clearer than that to have to bet something that you're only going to assume what it is.
Because did you see on Twitter the other, I think it was FanDuel, someone had a under longest field goal attempt or field goal made, I should say. And there was no field goals attempted. So his bet was refunded and he's like, that's a winner. And he's like, somebody else, like another book paid on the under attempts, but his wording on his sheet says unders made. So none were made. It is a voided bet, right?
Well, then think
about it.
He's got to catch.
Attempt is an attempt. If there's no attempts, there's no attempts. But to make one, you're saying one's going to be less than the other. If nothing's made, there's no contest, right? That's how they're trying to fight that.
Well, was the prop about field goals made or the length of the field goals? Because it was field goals made, and he says no or under. He was right. There were no field goals, and it did go under because there weren't any. So it depends on which book whipped up that prop. They all treat these things differently, and usually never for the side of the better. That's for sure.
I guess field goal made prop. Let me see if I can just find it real fast. I know we're getting a little sidetracked here, but just listen. This is you got to read your little things. I bought this up here, and I just remembered, like you said, the wording. Because there is no touchdown. It's only neither. Yeah. I should have saved that. That was interesting because I saw it pop up, and it wasn't anybody followed. It just randomly came into my feed.
I like Champ Ross's his comment here about the Raiders-Browns game being the Gummies Bowl. Nothing like that to put you to sleep.
It's definitely not going to be a good game.
Yes.
Well, man, we got comments out the wazoo in this one now. We got to jump on some of these things. Mr. West, as always, look at this. My 1,000 thread count, 96 polo shirt. Yes, 1,000 threads. It's pure, straight Nike, 1,000 thread count. UNLV Hawaii today from Mar, under 61 tonight. I got no opinion on it total here. And nothing really pumps out. Short week for Hawaii off a double overtime game. UNLV rested, bye week. I mean, I could maybe see it going. That 61's a lot. Where it could be like a 28-24. I don't know. It's not there.
This is a UNLV team that's coming up part of the Threads. They were really well respected early on in the season, but as the longer the season goes, the more they're unraveling. And, if they don't play this good football game tonight, it will probably lead more toward the under in the game. But statistically, yardage-wise, they're really getting beat up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've won the yards one in the last 6 football games. So they're going south that way. I don't know if I'd want to lay points with a team like that, but you certainly don't want to bet anything over for a football team right now that's having their most difficult time of the season.
Yeah, definitely not scoring. I agree. Yeah, definitely not into the total in this one there, Mar. No, thank you. Mr. Wesker says, fade in the Gators. 38 points? That's what we're laying here with Florida? What are we talking about? Is this got to be basketball, I guess.
It must be basketball.
Stay away from the cheerleaders. Yeah, I'm saying, who's he talking about? Because I'm like, Florida's a 4-point dog. I actually like Florida against Tennessee this weekend.
I do too. We called that as our upset special in the newsletter this week.
You know what? Let's throw it out here then. Let's go Gators.
Yep, go Gators.
Gators plus. Can we get a 4 here? Let's check it out. Florida. Where is that here? There are 4s. We can get a +4 with the Gators. Florida +4 for the show. We're heavy in the state of Florida.
You're in the
Seminoles and Gators.
Look at what Tennessee's doing here, Sean. 1-6 to the spread the last 7 games. They're really, and they can't play up to what Vegas expectations are. And they really don't have a lot to play for, does Tennessee in this football game. They got Vanderbilt on deck, which is a rivalry. And this might be a little bit more interest to Tennessee this year because of Vanderbilt being where they are this year.
They're not getting in the playoffs. I mean, I know people think we should have like all these 3-loss teams. Like, well,
no,
you got to put Tennessee. How's Tennessee not in there? They lost to Alabama. They lost to. No, it doesn't work that way. You can't lose to these teams.
When you have 12 teams playing in the playoffs, Sean, no team should be in the playoffs with 3 losses. I don't care
where. But
where.
the argument, though, Mark. They lost to Georgia, who's number 5. They lost to Alabama, who's number 8. They lost to Oklahoma, who's number 9.
Loss. Let them win. Let them lose 2 of those and make the case for the 2-win team. And then you could say they beat one of those 3 teams, but they haven't. So
no, but that is why. And again, people love the expanded playoff. No, because you're going to get 3. I'll tell you. Listen, I got Arkansas this weekend. I even took a little money line against Texas. If Tech, because I need them to beat Texas, because if Texas somehow beats A&M, which is possible,
yes,
Texas is getting in the damn playoffs. Who cares? They have 3 losses. They beat the number 3 team, and they play. Listen, who did they lose to? They lost to Ohio State, who was top 2. They lost.
Well, look at the other teams right now that have 2 losses that aren't in the top 12, okay? These are the guys that are knocking on the door and could barge through if they win out. With 2 losses, Miami of Florida, they would go there ahead of Texas. You're looking at Vanderbilt, who may get there with 2 losses. You're looking at Southern Cal. My goodness, if they upset Oregon, they take Oregon's place in the top 12. Southern Cal does. They go from what is now number 15, where Oregon is to number 7. They'll swap spots because Oregon will drop down because of the loss in the.
But will they? Because you lost to Illinois. Illinois is not a good team. They will bump up the SEC. You're going to get a 3-loss SEC before you get a 2-loss somebody else.
Well, the guy that's getting jaded the most is Georgia Tech. He's only got 1 loss in the football season. And I know the ACC doesn't hold a lot of love for the committee, but 1 loss is 1 loss. And so how could you put any 3-loss team in there ahead of a 1-loss Power 4 conference team? You can't do it. You just can't do it. It's just not justifiably fair.
Well, these SOBs are going to find a way to piss me off even more with this nonsense. Really, you can't, and it's going to be. That's why we got to expand the playoffs. No, you don't have to expand the playoffs. If you can't beat a team, you shouldn't be in there. Because then it's going to be, well, I know they got 4 losses, but 2 of the losses were the 2 top 5 teams. The other teams were number 9 and number 13. How do you not put them in? They're playing a tough – who cares you're playing tough teams? Notre Dame played tough teams. They couldn't beat a tough team as a underdog. They fired their coach for it. Now you're going to reward the SEC because they're the SEC?
No, you can't. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. You can't reward a conference because of who they are. Yes, they're good teams, but good teams are supposed to win football games. And when good teams don't win football games, they go back to mediocre. They don't stay as a good football team. So whether you're from the Southeast Conference, the ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, you have to win football games to make it to the college football playoffs. And I will insist that no 3-loss team is going to make the college football playoff.
Well, I'm hoping. I think an SEC team's getting in there.
You do, yeah.
With their 3, they shouldn't be, but they will be. BYU 2.5. Brockman looks like the real deal. You're on BYU over Cincy. Cincinnati cost me last week. I had the Bearcats. I thought, you know what? You win out here. You're in the Big 12 championship game, and then you spit the bit. And BYU, I don't know. I mean, they should have that game against Texas Tech should have been like 45 to 6. That wasn't even close. Texas Tech settled for field goals at the 7-yard line. I thought I was going to lose a cover there, because it was them just kicking field goals. All I needed was some garbage BYU touchdown to really screw up the day there. But I don't know what to think of Cincinnati. I think their season is gone. Are they going to be really pumped up to win here, to go to where will they be? Let's find a bowl for Cincinnati here.
I think they're a fraud, Cincinnati, personally. They weren't supposed to be anything this year. They come up and they surprised. You can surprise, but this is a surprise vault you into the college football playoff? No way. They've choked in the last 2 football games, lost the yards in their last 2 football games. I think they're going south right now at the wrong time. And that's why you're finding BYU favored at Cincinnati this week.
I'm going to call the Rate Bowl in Chase Field, Phoenix, Big 12 versus Big 10. We'll get our Cincinnati versus Penn State or something in that game. There we go. That's where Cincy's going to go. Magic Mar says, what happened to Josh Allen? Yeah, he's Josh Rosen. That's who he is. He's not good. He should have won the MVP last year. That's it. The writers voted for Lamar to win his 3rd straight NFL Player of the Year award. Somehow somebody overslept and instead of getting 3 straight MVPs, Lamar got 2 MVPs, and Josh Allen came in and stole it out of his house. Josh Allen. Guy's got 10 touchdown passes this year. Come on. Is this team any good?
Well, they're overrated.
It's Josh Allen. They're going to be good. You've lost to Miami, the Falcons, the Texans with a backup quarterback. I mean, you lost to the Falcons, who lost 30-0 to the Carolina Panthers. Panthers scored like 14 points against this is like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. The Panthers scored 16 and won 16-15 against Green Bay, and Green Bay gave up 40 to Dallas, and Dallas scores 4 against Chicago. I mean, Josh Allen, this team was overrated to come in. They were favored, Mark. We did a little preview shows in August. All 17 games they were favored at the start of the season. They were looking at a team that's supposed to go 15-3 and just sail.
Weren't they the only team that was favored in every game?
Only one.
Yeah, the only one.
And they almost lost right out of the gate.
Yep.
To the Ravens.
And what have they been? Dog once, only once this year. They were a 2-point dog at home against Kansas City, and they won our first game of the season. 1-point dog.
Yeah, they were dog to the Ravens. Start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This Bills team, and I always thought the offense, I never understood the love. He's a great player. That's fine. And, he'll carry us. The defense is still suspect. And the offense, you got a running back. You got no really marquee kind of receiver guy to home in on that you need.
Well, the worst part about Buffalo is their rush defense. It's sinister. You give up 5.5 yards a carry. That's slot bucket defense is what that is. You cannot – and teams that give up over 5 yards a carry and they go out road favored in the National Football League, they don't have enough cemeteries to bury those teams into. And that's what happens to Buffalo last night, Thursday night. They go out as a road favorite into the number one defense in the country, no less.
It's. I mean, looking at their scores, they gave up 40 to Baltimore, 21 to Miami, 19 to the Saints, who were in that game until Buffalo scored late there to go win by 10 or whatever they won, 12. 23 to New England, 24 to Atlanta, 21 to Kansas City. Excuse me, 21 allowed to Kansas City, 30 to Miami, 32 to Tampa Bay, and 23 last night on a short week to a backup quarterback. And people think this is a playoff. I mean, forget about a Super Bowl team, a playoff team.
Well, they got a rather soft schedule going out, okay? And they'll, I think, likely take advantage of that. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and the Jets. I think those are all wins for Buffalo. And if they're wins, they're going to be in the playoffs. They'd have to trip up against one of those teams. A loss potentially at New England. I think they're going to come back. Buffalo doesn't stay down too long. But boy, oh boy, they got to put some numbers up to make me want to believe that see Buffalo really become that good football team that they're supposed to be. And they're not. And this could well be Sean McDermott's last year. If this football team does not make the playoffs, it's adios, Sean.
I mean, they're 7-4. I mean, can they run the table?
Yeah, they can run the table.
Pittsburgh, home Cincy, at New England, at Cleveland, home Philly, home Jets.
And that New England game, they'll have revenge from a home loss there, so they'll be motivated in that football game.
And that might be a spot where New England might be like, you know what, we got a 4-game lead in the division anyway. Like they and just the wins and stuff like that, they could not afford a loss, but it's not a desperate game for them. They'll still be sitting pretty in the division.
Philadelphia will be their toughest test. At home, it'll be like playoff atmosphere there. But there's nothing. Philadelphia's not a 5-star beauty anyway themselves this year offensively. Yeah. I mean, they're horrible offensively. So, Buffalo's offense is better than Philadelphia's defense. Philadelphia's defense overpowers Buffalo. So, which side of the game do you like there?
We got Philly-Dallas this week. Let's pivot to that. It was a 6-point Philly on the over the look ahead, 5.5 on Sunday. Reopens at 4.5. Now down to 3. Dallas off a win. It was against Vegas. I don't know how much you lay into that as a great game. Philly, another stinker on offense. So that's 2 stinkers. The defense looks like it's like the Doomsday Steel Curtain defense the last 2 weeks. Right? No, and not much offense. And I'm torn on this one because I have Dallas at a 5.5 I took. Why do I feel like now at a 3, I'm going to stare at a Philly team that's going to come in here and be like, this game's going to be like 36-24, 44-28, 44-30. Like, I think there's going to get some offense in this. But on the flip side, the totals come down 3 points because in the last 2 games combined, Philly hasn't even sniffed. Forget about 50. They haven't sniffed the 30. They haven't sniffed 40 points between combined. Right. Like – I don't know about this game now. I took Dallas thinking the first time they played, who knows how that game would have rolled out if they played a full game without a huge lightning delay.
True.
Dallas defense can be as bad as it was. It looked a little good, but against Vegas and the Eagles. I mean, the last 2 weeks of defense looks great. No offense. I don't know. Help me out with the Eagles. Somebody. Where are the Eagles fans? What is happening?
You don't have 2 losses on the season and only outgain 2 teams. That just doesn't add up. That's the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's largely because of that offense. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is the answer. You can't, I guess, take the job away from him because he's wearing a Super Bowl ring from last year. But my goodness, they're offensively weak. Dallas holds all the cards when it comes to offense in the football game. And I think what Dallas has got working for them now is those trades that they made at the trade deadline to add some defensive punch, I think are going to really work out for Dallas here. What they hold 236 yards. They held the Raiders to that last football game, beat them by $150 in the yardage. And these 2 teams do not like one another. I do a weekly show in Philadelphia, and I've done it for 40 years. And all you have to do is mention the Dallas Cowboys, and they become irate in Philadelphia. So there's not a lot of love between these 2 football teams. But Also, not a love in Dallas for Philadelphia as well. I'm with you, Sean. I like the Dallas Cowboys here. I think they beat Philadelphia straight up in the field.
Let's make it a play.
Okay.
Dallas +3. Dallas +3 making the show here. Our first NFL pick. Dallas +3. I see John Mizzou. I know the quarterback was possible to come back. Is it official that he is back?
He's coming back. He's going to start. Yes, he's practiced all week. He's going to play. Yes, he's been cleared.
I like them as it was, Missouri, just because the spot. Oklahoma again. You're off a big win. Even the Tennessee game, you had a bye week between. It's just a flat spot. It's it's a straight. I play it as a situation. Again, if it loses, so be it. I move on to the next game. But I think you have to play based on the situation. I don't know if you're big into stuff like that. Like, well, a team has to win or not win, stuff like that. I look at it as you're off your biggest win of the year. You maybe take a breath and all of a sudden somebody catches you flat-footed.
Well, I think the best analogy I heard about must-win games is if a team is in a must-win situation, they must not be very good. They put themselves in that position. What do you see the total on this football game? And the reason I'm bringing that up is this.
42.5.
42.5? Well, you're not going to steal anything, but this is going to be very, very hard to find points in this football game. You've got two defenses that are stonewall defenses. Oklahoma is incredibly. I mean, every game they played but 2 have been season lows, and every game Missouri has played but 3 have been season lows they've allowed defensively. I think it's going to be a chess match on the playing field. Because of that, I take the points, and I look for the under to happen as well.
I'm grabbing them right now as we speak. I'm taking them.
Good.
We got the bandits on the field, like Cal -3.5 for Stanford. Any thought on the? We'll make back to it. You want to take both Missouri and the under?
Well, I would say Missouri in the under. Yeah, let's make it a 2-teamer. Yes.
It's 6.5 right now. 42.5. Still interested?
Yeah, you'd have been nicer to me at 7, but we'll do it.
Yeah, there's not a. I don't see a
take what they have to offer. Right.
There's one at BetMGM. BetMGM's got one random 7.
The only reason we lost to 7 is because the quarterback's playing. That's exactly what happened to the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about Cal and Stanford? I sort of like Cal here, although I don't like the spot for them. But Stanford, I think, I think they're geared for next year. They're trying to, they get the coach. They got the big chunk of no money coming in from some donor. So I like that spot of them for future reference for Stanford, but not as much as taking them in this, grabbing them here. I'd lean Cal, but you have any
if rivalry still exists, Sean, and they do, we just don't. They're just not like they used to be. There was a time, remember, in the football schedule, the second or third week in November, it was all rivalry week. It was everybody was a natural rival, and it was a great football week to watch football. Cal and Stanford were right at the top of that list, and now they're in opposite conferences, which is sinister. It's a shame, but
no, they're both in the ACC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's just not the same. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, exactly. They're not in the Pac-12. But what I would always do in games like this, in these natural rivalries, is when they met and one team had a bowl eligibility bid in their back pocket and the other didn't, this becomes Stanford's bowl game. This particular game, if they do anything else all season long but win against California, they will have had a successful season here. They're not a good football team, but you'll probably see them playing their best football on Saturday.
All right, so Mars, we're against each other here.
Yeah, so
I totally agree with that. I just think, give me I don't know, Danny boy, new to the channel, first time live. Let's go. Appreciate you coming in, Danny. Thank you. Chambro says New Mexico versus Air Force. Took New Mexico up to 4 now. I'm not going to say no to this one. I mean, the quarterback's out for Air Force. They've looked terrible this year. Yeah, I'm all for New Mexico. I don't
Yeah,
know
New
what,
Mexico is cooking right now too. I mean,
right? I mean, yeah, and another good spot from here. They're off their bye. They're all, if one thing, if you beat, if you come off a huge upset, you're a 6-point dog, you win 38-6. Next game out, you're a little inflated. People are gonna be all over you. You got a week to enjoy that, and then get ready for a new game, new team. I still like them here. I mean, sign me up. I don't know what you feel about the New Mexico here for.
you're talking about New Mexico?
Yeah, because they beat what's it? They beat San Diego State,
Well, they beat
and
Colorado.
then they had a bye week, right? Oh no, is that Hawaii?
No.
I'm talking Hawaii. Duh.
Yeah. No,
Still got Hawaii on my mind.
they just laid 16 to Colorado State, won the game by only 3.
Yeah.
But they're playing well. They won 4 in a row. They won the yard solidly in all 4 of those football games.
IMC, you know what, Mark? I have the Hawaii game on my head, but New Mexico, I got to flip that to Colorado State because Colorado State had owned them before that, I believe. I don't know if you have those numbers for you from the last game because I took New Mexico last game and I was like, what the heck, you guys? Because they were off their bye week against Colorado last week.
Well, I'm doing it from my hand log stat and log book. I'm going to look into our midweek alert statistical newsletter, and that'll have it down pat right. I can guarantee you that. So we're going to find New Mexico comes off of a game against Colorado State. Then they beat them 20-17 as a 16-point favorite. Last week.
I like them here.
Yeah. I like them too.
Minus the 4, New Mexico. We're loading up today here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games so far in the chat. Mr. Wesker, Football Friday wants to talk college Gators. Come on with this crap. Get out of here, Mr. Weskers. Come in and make fun of my 1,000 count shirt, thread count. Cowboys team total. We like Dallas and the 3, so we're going to have to probably say yes to the over here. I don't think it's going to be a 17-10 game. What do you think about this? You like the total?
Well, you're going team total over against a really, really tough as nails defense in a big, huge rivalry game. But you certainly can't look under when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. It's all offense, no defense. He's probably on the right side of that equation there. I couldn't say no to it. I'm not going to play it, but I'd probably lean his way. I think his thinking is right.
Yeah, well, I like the dog. You like the dog here. You'd have to almost say you got to take it, right? Because if you're taking a dog, you need points. You expect them to score. So, yes, that's why I agree. But I'm also with you where the way the Phillies been playing, you could see it being like a 2017 game as well. But I do like it, Danny. I do like it. Tampa and the Rams. John likes Tampa Bay. It's down to 6. So somebody's buying up a little 6.5 action, which is, I don't know. I 6.5. I do like dogs at 6.5, Mark. But Tampa Bay to me, man, why does it look like everything's just catching up with them? As good as Baker was to start the year, they're winning these games. Come back. Are they out of gas? The defense looks totally done. McVay to have his stats, Patford is ridiculous. On his way to an MVP and a Hall of Fame with his numbers. He's got what, 22 touchdowns, 27 touchdowns, whatever he's got this year. He's got something ridiculous.
Yeah,
I like the Rams.
He's having an MVP type year. Tampa's really swirling, like you said. They needed that bye. They were out-yarded 4 games in a row. They've been out-yarded the 2 games since then as well. Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned about a Rams letdown here after that big physical war last week against Seattle. That was a big war of a football game. That and the fact that the Rams won the game, but were outgained 165 yards in the contest. To me, that's a no-no. You don't let a team win a game and get beat 150 yards and lay points with them the next week. I can't do that with the Rams this week.
That is a concern, right? Because but you also, on the flip side of that, they came out of that game so fast. I'm thinking, wow, this is a rout, right? I had a minus 140 last week. And I'm thinking, nice and easy this game. 14 points in the first quarter. We're going for it on 4th down. Make a statement here. Seattle misses the field goal. But I look at it as I have a coach who's going to be, you know what? Fellas, let's not play with our food here. We did that last week. it almost cost us. See, I think he's being more of a guy who's going to have the team on track here. But I don't know. This is. I don't know if I give out. You got Mark's opinion. You got my opinion on this one.
Well, there's some people that really, really like the Rams. I know Jim Feist likes them, and he thinks they're going to be the Super Bowl champion. The Rams. They
look really good. I mean, I'm not gonna. I'll agree with that. And him, I'm a guy. I got a Rams no playoff ticket plus 140 because I thought when I heard, remember the summer, like, oh, Stafford's going to some back specialist. He's got, I'm like, this guy ain't gonna last the whole year. He'll be out of football. He's gonna be out in October 3rd. They're in a backup, and I'm looking at a nice 5-win season. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This guy. Talk about playing some freaking nonsense on us and letting the guard down or oh my goodness.
Hey, Sean here. Magic Mark comments on the 49ers Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, next game here, yep.
Game this week. And real interesting stat inside that football game here is San Francisco, when the last 16 times they've won a game, they're 1-15 against the spread following game. They cannot 1-15 to the spread off of a win, San Francisco. And you got Carolina playing some really good football right now. Bryce Young has put up some really nice stats. I think I outlined this in our newsletter. His last 5 games, his quarterback rating is 106.8. There aren't too many quarterbacks in the NFL that can say they've got that same quarterback rating over a 5-game span. That's one of the reasons the Panthers have really come alive here of late. I just can't trust San Francisco to bounce back with 2 good games in a row, especially laying points in a contest like this. So my lean's going to be to Carolina in the game.
So Carolina, let's talk about it. Big come from behind win. Overtime. What's his name? Left a little bit, got a little banged up there with his ankle. Obviously, you're not concerned that he might get, roll it again or something. Are you a fan of Purdy? I mean, he looked really good last week. Again, it was Arizona. Still on the road. He had to go in on the road and throw 3 touchdowns to look good. Can I interest you in a under in this matchup? Or you'd be more on over?
You could interest me in an under. I think that's the way it goes.
I took an over 45.5, and it's moved now a little higher. It's at 49.5 now. 45.5, I thought was about right. Now I need 50 plus. Are we going to get a 30-20 game here? 28-24.
Well, one good thing is when you look at the unders and totals, and one of the 2 teams that are involved scored 40 or more their previous game, they tend to come back to the norm, which is, again, another case against San Francisco this week to come back to the norm. They're not going to put up another 40 back-to-back weeks, especially when they don't perform well off wins anyway. So I think you're right on that, John. I think you're looking at the under there. That could be a nice side in this football game.
Yeah, and that's why I like to write down when the opener numbers and then the new number comes out and you're like, all right, what is going on here? Can I find something in between? Like, is it market overreaction? Now, on a side note to these, Mark, I was doing this with like college basketball totals moving 3 or 4 points. And even if you're getting the bad number, like if you're jumping on an over 49.5 here, as opposed to the over 45, the other day they went 12-4. Even 3 or 4 points off the number, they were still cashing. So two different sports, but just something I keep track of because that's how I do the look at. I look at overnight and try to
look at, rather than count sheep at night. That's what you look at night. You're counting.
I am.
I get you.
College hoops lines come up like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm on them. I'm writing them down. NFL Wednesday night, Tuesday night, those lines come out. I'm marking them down, and then I'm playing out of my head because I already got Sunday's games bet, thinking like you, right? You have your games. You think they're going to win. As far as you're concerned, you're 5-0, 15-0, 3, whatever they are. You think those games won. That's why you bet them. So I'm looking at next week saying, all right, this team already did this. Why is this line already at a? Can I? Where's my value here? Like I'm playing it out as it's already games and played, and I'm getting an early number. So,
well, the first thing you got to look at is the injuries. To a line movement like that. The first thing, and then
but no one's really. what's gone on in that Carolina-Atlanta game? I mean, it's not Atlanta game, Carolina-Niner. The Niners, if anything, they can't lose any more people. Who else are they losing on defense? They're not losing any more guys on defense. They didn't get any worse, So, where are we at here? Can the Bengals hang with the Patriots? They got to stop. Yeah, they're not going to stop anybody. No clothespins to be found, he says, Mark, for this one here. I got to tell you with this. Why the heck is Joe Burrow coming back to play in this game?
I don't think he is, Sean.
I mean,
he's not.
It makes no sense to me.
I'll tell you why. Joe Flacco never practices on Wednesday. He's never practicing. They're getting Joe Burrow ready for Thanksgiving Day, okay? So in getting him ready for Thanksgiving Day, they let him run the practices Wednesday when it's Flacco's day off. So everybody's got him starting this week. You won't see Joe Burrow playing quarterback this week. It'll be next week. Thanksgiving Thursday is when you're going to see Joe Burrow. And too. Would they start him this week and then start him again on a short week on Thursday? I don't
exactly.
think so. No. Right.
Well, not only that, forget about the fact that Chase is out in this one. He's not playing. But why even he wants to come back for what? Sit out. Get the damn coach fired. Get a coach who's going to draft offensive linemen so you're not injured every year. What are you doing? It's like I know Dart was ruled out today, but like it's the same thing. Like, why would you come back? He got 2 wins. The guy's had like 3 concussions that we know about. Sit out.
Yep.
Let him draft an offensive lineman. Your running back had his leg rearranged. Your wide receiver, your franchise, right? These are all number 1 draft picks are gone. But I'm going to rush back my franchise quarterback on a 2-win team. He's running naked bootlegs to get waylaid in the open field. Sit out the rest of the season, Jackson.
Well, that's the reason Zach Taylor would be fired, I think, if he started Joe Burrow this week. I don't think ownership's going to let him do that. And I think Joe Burrow's smart enough to know he shouldn't be doing that. So I think it's all smoke screen coming out of Cincinnati. In fact, the line has indicated that that's not even going to happen. If he practiced the full practice on Wednesday, and there was a positive thought to confirm that he was going to start a quarterback, this line would have moved 3 or 4 points. It's still just sitting there, okay? It's sitting there because he's going to be watching the game with us on the sidelines.
I got a look ahead at New England 5.5, New England -5, and then I grabbed the Cincy +9. I'll take a shot. At the middle 5 and 9.
Yeah,
because laying 10 on the road, and again 9 is 9, but still they got to win by 10 for that to be a win for them. I'll take my shot with an underdog there. I mean, I have to. I thought that was worth a shot for me to try for a middle on 4 points there.
It is.
Should I ever know?
Well, the thing of it is people can get themselves in trouble trying to middle football games, and because you're paying a lot of juice on both sides of the game. And it's often said, one of my best friends, who is was one of the sharpest players in the country, he's passed away. He always told me, why would you want to turn a good bet into a bad bet? So if you've got a good number on a football team, live with the good number. Don't turn it into a bad bet just because you're trying to middle a football game. So there's 2 schools of thought on that, but I can see where you're, right now, what do you say, 9 and 5? Well, you went through 7. You went through a 7, a real strong number here. I think you've got justification in that.
Right, and I'm not a huge like in-game kind of guy. Like you just like, who are you moving in-game? Well, I'm already on this already. Why am I going to double up on something? Like I agree with that. Turning a good bet into a bad bet. But I was like, 4 points in NFLs. I'll take it. It's not a lot of money. I'll go for it. But I'm with you. It makes sense that what's his name's not going to play here. Like, why would he? Makes 0 sense. And then come back injured on a short week. Ronnie's got the Patriots at 5.5. Again, good number early, Ronnie, right out the gate.
Well, this game just reeks of letdown for New England. Just reeks of it. This monster run, was it 7 straight wins, 6 point spread covers for New England here. they're really cooking right now. And, can they continue this pace? That's the question here, coming off the big division win on Thursday. I just think that they're sooner or later, they're coming closer to the norm and bouncing rather than continuing their run in New England.
And I don't want to like just totally trash the Patriots, but also I know they played the worst schedule, and I keep saying, like, who have they beaten? Like, it's not a who's you beat a Bills team. Well, the Bills just lost again. Yeah, and you're saying that. Well, you lost to the Raiders. Well, it was in week 1. Well, to me, it doesn't make a difference. If you're going to bring up a win over the Bills, that's who they beat. Well, then you have to bring up a loss to a team that's a loss to. I don't know what I love the coach. I think they definitely overachieved a bit here. But you play who you play, and you've been beating bad teams. You should beat this team. This is a bad team.
Well, they're a team that they should be familiar with the likes of this team for sure.
Right? And I think Vrabel's head and shoulders better than freaking Taylor.
For sure he is. Yeah, he's going to end up likely being right now coach of the year for the job that he's done with this football.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
USC and Oregon. We touched on this a little earlier. We're talking about the playoffs and teams getting in and out. I like USC here, Mark. I mean, USC lost a game they maybe should have won against Illinois. I had Illinois that game, so I was happy for a miracle win there. And then he lost to Notre Dame. Maybe it was a cover. Maybe it was a push, depending on when you get in there later. That was another coulda, woulda, shoulda kind of game for them. You're giving me 10 points with an offense. Again, they beat Michigan, right? If we're going to give credit to where credit's due, to say, well, Oregon played a tough one in Iowa. Was weather. Well, okay. Well, we beat Michigan, who's a sort of decent team. I'll equal those out. I'll give Oregon a win on the road when Penn State was a full-strength Penn State team, even though they've fallen apart since then. But 10.5 here. I know they're pretty offensive squads. I will gladly take USC in a rivalry game in every sense of the word. These guys have played for years, championship games out in the Pac-12. 10.5. Is it still 10.5? Because I thought it came down. Now I feel like I got a bad number out there.
It's 10 anyway, Sean. Okay,
it's 10s across the board.
Yes. Right. So, but you're talking 10 to a football team. Now, look at this situation here. You've got Oregon right now sitting at number 7 in the college football playoff ranking. You've got Southern Cal at number 15 in the college football ranking. Let Southern Cal beat Oregon, and these two teams will flip sides. Southern Cal will then become a top 12 team in position to be in the playoff. Okay, Oregon can lose this game and still make the football playoff. With 2 losses, they can still do it. I think this is a big, huge game for Southern Cal, and I see the upset in this football game as well.
USC plus 10. There you go. We are loaded up, and then I'm going to write these down. I'm going to put them in the chat here as I pull up the next one because we're going to be wrapping up. We're coming in on an hour here. Ronnie, Falcons, Saints. He likes the Falcons more. I'll tell you, Ronnie, I have the Saints plus 3.5. I said this 2 weeks ago here, I think we talked about last week the Falcon game. I had the Falcons over Carolina last week, thinking you were off a bad loss where you pissed away a win, and then in regulation and overtime. So you come home, no bye week off of the Europe trip, but you had a rival. You had your division rival who beat you 30-0. Why the hell wouldn't you be up for that game? And what did you do, Atlanta? You pissed away another lead. Couldn't tie game. You had to force overtime. You get the ball first in overtime, and then you lose. And now you got a back. Cousins isn't your typical backup. He's been in the league. But Father Time has got this guy like they're holding him hostage somewhere. He looks terrible. Like they got his family in a basement in like the movie Saw, because he's been terrible. Why? That's why this line's moved 4 points, because he's terrible. And the Saints, for as crappy as I thought the Saints were going to be, they've been competitive every single week. Now they're a rookie quarterback. Talk about throwing a guy to the wolves, Mark. Hey, go start in San Francisco. I don't care what you think about San Francisco. That's not an easy thing to go to as a rookie on the road. No. 2 road starts. No. And now you get a Falcons team in total disarray, a back-to-back spot after playing in Europe. Get the hell out of here, man. This is Saints to the bank. I'm making it a play. You could tell me you already got the printed press on this that Atlanta won on Monday. I'm still taking the Saints.
Well, I don't. Atlanta's playing as poorly as any team is in the National Football League right now. 5 straight losses, 5 times beat up bad in the stats. We're having to revert now to Kirk Cousins. The only saving grace for Atlanta in this football game, the only saving grace is this could be that born-again time for Kirk Cousins to maybe salvage his reputation, play well, and find another job with another program next year. That's the only saving grace here. But the fact of the matter is he has to have players around him to be able to seal the deal to do that. And the Falcons are just playing horrible football right now. I hate laying the Saints minus anything. To me, I will not be reaching in my pocket to bet this game, but I couldn't disagree with you, Sean.
There we go. I'm making a show. I'm putting all of the college footies in here as we do the as we're talking here. Mark says, I'll never bet the Falcons again. Chewy, first time catching you live. You guys are the goats. Keep it up. Well, Mark is the goat. I'm like a little baby sheep with my time in, even though I got 20 years in. Mark is a true original innovator of the world. Colts Chiefs, though. This is a good one to talk about because we've only have we did a show pick on this on another free pick video, but I'd like to get your take on this. I was with Doug Upstone and Alex Smart on this game, but Colts Chiefs, and then we'll wrap it up.
Well, if ever Kansas City was in a football game that they have to have, it's got to be this one. The most unique stat that I've come across, Victor King, who keeps our well-oiled machine primed and well-oiled, texted me. We were putting our newsletter together and texted me with the stat that he found, and I'll share it with our listeners out there because it's mind-blowing. When you find in the National Football League a 5-5 or worse team favored against an 800 or better team, you think about that. Okay, that cavern between the win percentages of these two football teams, 5-5 or worse, opponent 800 or better. Since 1990, it's happened 14 times. They have never lost the money. Won every game 14 times and never lost the money. That's Kansas City in this football game. There's a reason they're favored in this football contest. And because the situation is they're cheap right now. It's like buying at a Costco wholesale price. At the beginning of the season, in our magazine, we put out all the lines in advance here. I think Kansas City was a 6.5 or 7 point favorite in the football contest. So you're getting wholesale with the Chiefs in the contest. And you've also got Patrick Mahomes off back-to-back losses, 6-0 to the spread in his career. Those are some pretty nice numbers here to support Kansas City in the football game. That's the only side I would look.
Kansas City this is a tricky one for me here. Kansas City last week was in the same kind of spot against the 8-2 Broncos, a team that should have beat them twice last year, and ended up spitting a bit in that one. Colts out of the bye week. I get it, dome team Kansas City, but Daniel Jones is familiar with the cold weather playing in Jersey. The 3.5 down to 3 actually was what, 4.5. So are you calling for? Do you like Kansas City covered a 3.5, 4 here, or do you think more of it's just going to win the game?
Kansas City's going to win the game and cover the spread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I sort of like the Colts here.
Well, everybody loves the Colts this year.
Total wise.
Yeah.
See, and this is why I kind of like the Colts. I think for them, they don't want to get in like a pissing contest with an angry Chiefs team, right? Like Mahomes and Daniel Jones that's not where you want to be. You want to be Jonathan Taylor running the ball, milking the clock, and getting this to be a 17-10 kind of game. That's how they're winning. As much as the Colts score ridiculous on offense, the only time they didn't score, I think 28 was what, when the guy dropped the ball against the Rams in the crossing the goal line. Like they could score, but I don't think they want to. I don't think that is the game plan you want to go into here in Kansas City. Because if that's the case, Kansas City's winning this one 31-13 because the Colts are going to, Daniel Jones will make a mistake, and then the show's over. I think for them to be close, and again, I think it's going to be a closer game, which is why I kind of like the points here. But I also like the under in this one.
I think you got something there too. You look at Kansas City.
50.5.
there's nothing wrong with Kansas City's stats. You put tape over the name of Kansas City, you look at how they performed offensively, defensively, yards per game average. You insist this football team is a first or second place team. The Colts are coming around defensively.
Look at their schedule. The schedule's ridiculous.
For Kansas
Chargers, Detroit, Baltimore, Philly. It's a who's who of the top 2 teams in every division.
Exactly.
Every team they play. That's how the schedule works. You know, good teams play to good teams. But come on now. Holy cow.
Well,
you want to do an under on this one with me?
Let's do the under on it. Sure. I think this is two very good hidden defenses here right now. The Colts have improved their defense vastly, and Kansas City's been strong all season long with no credit in their favor for that.
There we go. We got a plethora of games for everybody today. They're in the chat. Well, you know, that was dumb of me. Well, NFL, Cowboys, Saints money line, Chiefs under. College footies, Florida State and the over. Florida, the solo Florida team, +4. Missouri +6.5 and the under. New Mexico -4. And Southern Cal +10. A lot of games today. 37-37 we are, Mark. The doggy day one day hurt us bad. We had all the dogs in every favorite, and the favorite's mother and cousin and third uncle came in for us. But
yeah, the 2 weeks the NFL rolled, the chalk just rolled.
Yep.
Right.
So these are the picks for the show on your Football Friday.
And Sean, there'd be even more picks on the show if Fargo would have joined us, if he could have got in here this week. Because he's got a real strong opinion. He's got a good opinion. He'd have had
He said he was going to come in from the Starbucks. He said he was going to try to go to Starbucks. But, you know, that can be loud in there. You don't know how it's going to – especially if nobody has internet at the house. If they're working in his neighborhood, the whole place could be, you know, jam-packed. You know,
right.
You're not going to get good service. But one, happy Thanksgiving. I won't see you before next week. So have a good holiday. You
do the same, Sean. Right before Thanksgiving, we'll be back afterwards talking about all the whipped cream that we put on our pumpkin pie, and we ate too much. That's it. We'll begin our conversation, okay?
And we will have Friday. We'll probably have games on Fridays. We're doing a show to talk about too, so that'll be a fun day to do. If you're around, great. If not, I understand. It's a busy day. You might be out shopping. You could be out shopping with the wife on that day.
And tell the boss, remind the boss, I know you don't have to, that it's Black Friday next Friday, so I'm sure he'll have something special in the hopper for all Gamblers World people that are watching the show.
I told him, I said, there's got to be some kind of Thanksgiving deal going on next week with everything. You know, you're going to have crazy college basketball tournaments, rivalry week, Thanksgiving triple header in NFL action, everything at Gamblers World. Again, Mark has games up Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday nighter as well, or no?
No, I just passed leaned on the Monday Night Football game, didn't play it.
There you go. And you told me, he said he liked the Panthers. You got that right here from him. So get his 3-day pass for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Don't miss out on all Mark's top plays at gamblersworld.net. 3-day pass. Go get it. Me as well. My 3-day pass, you'll get some college hoops involved in mine. So anything else you'd like to add before we roll on out?
Other than just to wish you and the audience a very happy Thanksgiving. Eat well, not too much, but eat well. And I'll look forward to visiting with you again next week, Sean.
I'll be here. I'm looking for I told my wife to get some stuffed mushrooms, so she's going to make me some stuffed mushrooms. I'll be happy. Nice little appetizer for the day.
I'll be with you.
Take it easy, Mark.
Hey, thanks, Sean. Have a great week.